Hello, I'm Simon Donohoe from Corriclaw. I'm a tillage farmer. I play for the Shelmaliers and I'm a member of the Wexford senior hurling team.
So we're together 8 years. We got married last December. We've 2 little boys. Jack is 6 and Robert is 1.
GAA has always been part of my family. I suppose my great-grandfather was on the first Wexford team to ever win an All-Ireland in 1910. And then my grandfather would have helped set up the Shelmaliers GAA club, and then my father was a big part of it, and then on to myself then, still trying to keep the tradition going.
So I'm originally from Killinick, from my mother's country. When I was 14 then we moved back out to my dad's part of the country, which is Barntown. I played a small bit of GAA with Glyn at the time, just to get to kind of know everybody, but not to the extent of obviously what Simon was into it. So I think I was a little bit naive going out with him at first, how much commitment was involved.
I suppose I do a lot of the sowing here on the farm, so I'm kind of a lot of sitting, organising that kind of way. And then when it comes to the summer, when we start digging the new potatoes, and it's all kind of more small orders, so it's a lot of 20 kilo bags, a lot of manual handling, so it probably helps me when it comes to playing sport on the pitch. And then to the back end of the year, September, October, it's again back in the tractor for long days, and you're kind of sitting down isn't a great position to have when you're trying to play a lot of sport. I suppose you get caught up in yourself. They're
obviously big into spuds, and their season starts around February if it's dry, and doesn't end till around, this year it didn't end till November, end of November. So yeah, it's very busy.
I mean, often you say you could go 2, 3, 4 days maybe without seeing them awake, because you'd be gone in the morning you could be up at 6 o'clock and gone out to sow potatoes, and I'd say to ourselves that I get home early when I'm training, because I'm done a bit earlier than when I'm working, because you mightn't be back till 10:30, 11 o'clock. But I suppose you wouldn't see the 2 young lads now, but I suppose it's not a sacrifice, but I don't have that many years left of me playing inter-county, so it's something I'm willing to put up with just for the time being.
We kind of decided like one of us has to be at home with the kids. I decided to take 2 or 3 of a gap year to be at home with the boys. Usually there's matches of a Saturday or a Sunday. He's back training then of a Monday, Wednesday, maybe Friday. A lot of managing, but you know, these years are short, and it's a huge privilege obviously for Simon to be able to play for Wexford, so I suppose you just kind of have to plough on.
My first senior championship game for Wexford was against Cork in Thurles back in 2016. It was our first win in, I don't know, 50-something years, so that was a great memory, able to come on with a few minutes to go and be part of the kind of a historic day.
I grew up on a dairy farm. My dad trained horses for as long as I can remember, most of his life. So from my early days, we never done 9 to 5. Farming isn't 9 to 5 and it never will be. So in one way that did help. 2
favourite games I had was probably the 2017. We played Kilkenny in a Leinster semi-final of a Saturday evening in Wexford Park. And when Wexford Park gets a full crowd, the place is hopping. And I think we won by, it was 2 or 3 points in the end, but I can always remember the crowd coming in after it. I suppose we hadn't been to a Leinster final in a good few years, so it's just something that I can remember back myself, first time playing in front of a big crowd. And then, sure, obviously going back to 2019, where winning it, I suppose, after there was a bit of a relief because we hadn't won it since 2004. So they're probably the 2 games that I can think back of that kind of come back to my memory straight away.
When I was growing up, it was going racing and going point to pointing every Sunday, probably show jumping of a Saturday. And I suppose it was a big lifestyle change for myself, because it went from going racing every Sunday to going to matches every Sunday.
Yeah, there'd be days you come home, you mightn't have had a great day playing, or the team mightn't have went well, and there'd be things we said and you'd hear things and stuff. But at least when you come in the door and you've 2 young lads, it probably puts a bit of perspective on it, because the youngest doesn't understand what's going on and the oldest is only happy to see you play for Wexford. So
we actually look forward to match day, gets us out of the house. Some of the girls of the other partners on the team come with me most of the time to give me a hand with the boys, and sure, we end up going usually for breakfast, lunch and dinner, which we love. And if the girls aren't coming with me, I'd usually go with Simon's mum and dad, and we do the same. So
I am lucky enough, I suppose, working on a family farm. I'm lucky that they're all into sport and they love Wexford hurling, so there'll be evenings when we be working and I have to head off early and they're willing to cover me. So my father, the brother, there's first cousin that works for us full time. Catherine at home, she'd help us when we be busy. If I have to go, she can help in, or there's other brothers that work away that come back and help me at kind of weekends if we're going away playing matches or training.
We were all taught to work very hard when we were younger, and when I met Simon and I met his family, I realised that they are extremely hard workers, and you either get on the train with them or you step off. And yeah, like, we all pull together and make it work. I kind of came into it with my eyes closed as such, not knowing how much the players have to give of their time and how much of a commitment it is. Fairly soon I got to know that. When I went to book holidays, no, you can't book a holiday. I have championship training. And in fairness to Simon, he is so committed. Like, he won't miss a train and he won't miss any matches.
Then when we be playing in Wexford Park, I suppose you have the crowds kind of with the stand that's set up there of a summer's evening when you're playing championship, and there's 8, 10, could be 15,000 people there. It's like having 40,000 people around you. I suppose Wexford people get fairly wound up when it comes to a championship match, and they drive you on. We've had a few good days in Wexford Park, probably from the crowd getting us over the line.
It's such a privilege to Simon to play for his county, and he loves it. And it's lovely being his wife, able to watch on, knowing that he's able to do something at such a high level. Players, they're retiring earlier because, like, obviously the physicality is getting higher and higher. So, like, to even have another 2 or 3 years would be amazing. So we know it's not going to last forever. So we really do soak it all up, and going to the Wexford matches with the boys and knowing that Jack is understanding that his daddy's playing for Wexford, it's really lovely. So we're making the most of it while it lasts.